Hello and welcome to Frontrunner Motorsport, and another weekend has come and gone. Actually, it went several days ago, but there was a lot of motorsport and it's taken a while for me to catch up. So this week we are looking back at the 6 hours of Monza from the World Endurance Championship, Formula 2 and 3 from Silverstone, Extreme E from the island of Sardinia, DTM from the narrow streets of the Norris Ring, V8 Supercars from Down Under, Formula Regional from Mugello, and F1 Academy also from Monza. So let's jump right into the video, right after you subscribe of course. So let's start with the World Endurance Championship, the 6 hours of Monza. Could Ferrari replicate their Le Mans success on home turf? Well, it was the number 7 Toyota that led the way, whilst the number 8 Toyota caused carnage throughout the field, first taking out one of the Ferraris at the first corner, and then destroying the D-station Aston Martin. He recovered to 4th though, so it wasn't all that bad for the Toyota, even after Sebastian Buemi's attempts to wreck half the field. It was the other Toyota who took the win ahead of Ferrari, and a very impressive Peugeot taking their first podium of the year. The other car still ran into issues, but it does look like they're making progress at least. Ferrari versus Toyota is going to be the epic end to this amazing series. The number 8 Toyota has a 20-point lead ahead of their teammates, who have won 3 races, and the Le Mans winning Ferrari. The other Ferrari is pretty close too. Porsche have been disappointing. They lacked speed at Monza and suffered badly. The competition is there, and as these cars are developed, it's going to get really close. In the other classes, Team WRT got another good result and look like they're going to be the final LMP2 champions, and the Corvette has already won the GT class. So all eyes on Iron Dames, holding off the pack for second. Formula 2 was along for the ride at a slightly damp British Grand Prix weekend at Silverstone. Ayumu Iwasa saw his title hopes take a massive dent when he ran into mechanical issues on the first lap, taking Brad Benavides out in the process. Oliver Behrman pulled off some good overtakes and threw it all away by outbraking himself. Isaac Hadjar led for a little while before sinking like a rock tied to another rock. Frederic Vesti took another win ahead of main title rival Théo Pourchaire. The feature race was slightly drier. The big moment here was Frederic Vesti getting punted by Dennis Hager and taking out Roman Stanek. Vesti has been so consistent in 2023, but this feature race retirement is a big hit to his title chances. Then Kush Maini took out his teammate. Maini was doing well earlier in the year, but has been a headache for numerous drivers in the last couple of rounds. Never hit your teammate. Victor Martins finally took his first win of the year ahead of Zane Maloney and his teammate. It's close between Vesti and Pourchaire in the title race, but if the likes of Iwasa, Behrman or Martins put a really good weekend together, they'll also stand a chance, and there are plenty of races left. Formula 3 and Gabriele Bortoleto pretty much has this series sewn up. His consistency is unmatched, and he truly has been fantastic. So it's all about the fight for second. Sebastian Montoya led from Taylor Barnard, 2 drivers who have shown promise but been terminally unlucky in 2023. Their progress was halted by a safety car as the conditions started to get wetter. The majority of the field pitted for wet, but the shower was brief and the track dried quickly. So it became a case of could the wet drivers get enough progress done before the track was completely dry. Montoya's bad luck continued when Barnard slid into him, removing them both from first and second, and allowing Franco Colapinto to take his first win that actually counts in 2023. Bortoleto was second, and a lot of his title rivals suffered in this race. There were several cars off early, with the likes of Luke Browning and Caio Collet being amongst those who were stopped. Farrier was given the hip and shoulder at the other end of the race, bringing out a late safety car. Ollie Gopher won on an increasingly slippery track ahead of teammate Fornaroli. The Trident team have picked 3 pretty damn good drivers this year. Bortoleto is still the man to beat with a 36-point lead. Extreme E was on the sunny island of Sardinia for the Island E-Prix. We had a few different drivers coming in this weekend. Always nice to see rally legend Seb Loeb in a car, not for X44 but Apt Cupra. We also had the daughter of the late Ken Block take to the dirt. Leia Block did a really good job holding off an experienced Cristina Gutierrez in Quali 1. A lot of the title contending teams had a bad weekend. Veloce, McLaren and X44 were all in the redemption race on day 1. X44 almost finished last in that. RXR won the first final even after Kristofferson drove into a bush, and Michaela Arlen Kalinski bumped Katie Mullings into a roll. X44 had even more bad luck on day 2, a puncture sent them straight to the redemption race once again. Actually, both X44 and Veloce had really bad weekends, and RXR won both finals, so the title really is closing down between Veloce, Acciona Science and RXR. 2 rounds left to go in 2023. Will we see new champions? The racing was good and I enjoyed Extreme E. DTM was at the Norris Ring, the track I look forward to most of all on the DTM calendar, and in race 1 we had a few moments of chaos at the hairpin, but generally everyone was very well behaved. Engelhardt broke down on the track and that brought out the safety car. The narrow streets of the Norris Ring catches up the best drivers, and Jack Aitken was squeezed into the wall. He managed to continue, which was with a bit of luck. There was another safety car to allow for pieces of cars to be picked up off the track because you could pretty much build another car out of what was lying around. Kelvin van der Linde looked like he was on for a good result, but was all ruined by a transmission issue near the end, leaving brother Sheldon and Rene Rast to take the spoils. Race 2 was pretty straightforward, but there were some good battles on track. Austrian Thomas Preining took the win and the championship lead, but Sheldon van der Linde is only 10 points behind. Some good stuff from DTM this past weekend. I'll talk about supercars briefly. Shane van Gisbergen is now a winner in NASCAR, along with everything else he's won in the past few years. I don't think he'll be in V8 supercars for much longer. He's had a taste of bigger things. He had an average weekend and even let Brock Feeney pass him in race 2. Looks like he's giving his young teammate his full support at a title tilt. But it's still Erebus versus Triple Eight. Will Brown won the first race and teammate Brody Kostecki was only 19th, so Will Brown now leads the championship. The former TCR Australia champion will have to hold off Kostecki and the charging Triple Eights. All 4 cars are separated by a 74-point gap, and there is a minimum 100 points scored for a race win, with 300 available for the endurance rounds. So this is wide open. Anton De Pasquale, who is not anywhere near the title picture, won in the second race, his first in almost a year for the much sadder looking Dick Johnson Mustangs. Formula Regional European was racing in Italy at Mugello just a week after Delano passing away at Spa. No MP Motorsport this week, but the rest of the young Formula Regional European field thundered on. It was a longer wait for the safety car than usual. Kirill Smau got slapped into the gravel and brought it out around the halfway mark. Not too much happened and it was another win for Martinius Stenhorn ahead of Antonio Kimi Antonelli. Race 2 was also interrupted. Sadly, Maya Woog's good one of results ended in the gravel, bringing out the safety car. It was the usual suspects up the front. Lorenzo Fluxer was spun out after the restart and the safety car came back out. So we didn't get a lot of racing at the end of this race. Andrea Kimi Antonelli won, but drama across the line as Martinius Stenhorn and Santiago Ramos had a massive crash. Stenhorn still leads the championship, but he's only 2 points ahead of Antonelli. Everyone else is starting to fall behind. Finally, let's take a brief look at the F1 Academy. As brief a look as we can actually see with the brief highlights, the only showcase this series still has. Racing in the WEC support slot at Monza, there was a really big scary looking crash at the start, with Chloe Grant upside down in a burning car. It rightfully brought out the red flag. Grant luckily only had minor injuries. Marta Garcia led but only just ended up winning by a nose hair from Lena Bula. In race 2, Hamda Al-Khabaisi dive-bombed her own title challenge after dive-bombing a Rodin Carlin. Her sister's own charge was hurt in the opposite way, dive-bombed by Nerea Marti at the same corner with the same consequences. Championship leader Marta Garcia gave Emily de Hoyce a nudge out. This looked like a good race. Shame we couldn't see much of it. Just a brief highlight package. Lena Bula went one better and won the second race. There was a lot of contact in the final race too. Marta Garcia got taken out, Emily de Hoyce went off at the start, Hamda Al-Khabaisi messed up the first corner and hit Bianca Bustamante, Megan Gilks was pushed out of the race as well. It was a little bit amateurish in all honesty. There were cars flying all over the place. The race ended under safety car after another incident between Chloe Chong and Maita Kaiteras. These races looked entertaining, but there were far too many crashes and moments of bad driving. I know a lot of these drivers are young, but this one got a little out of hand. So that was all the action from the past weekend, almost a whole week ago now. My race of the weekend was of course the World Endurance Championship, some of the best racing in 2023. Let me know your favourite race in the comments and your thoughts on this weekend's action. Next weekend we have the penultimate round of Formula E in Rome, IndyCar in Toronto, Super Formula at Fuji, European Le Mans in France and NASCAR with the New Hampshire Crayon 301, named after NASCAR fans' favourite food. So make sure you subscribe for more motorsport, leave your thoughts down below. Thank you for watching and have a good one.